Hello everyone, thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for everything, guys. You're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. So yeah, thank you. I wanted today to discuss something that is in my mind. Like I told you before, I love every African from the diaspora that is repatriating to Africa and settling down and finding uh, happiness. I'm all for that. I love watching your videos. I'm following almost everyone. I'm not gonna say everyone, that's an exaggeration. I'm following a lot of people, let me say it like that, and I'm liking what I'm saying, for the most part, except, yeah, this. So I just wanted to kind of like share my thought with you on some of the things that I've noticed that down the um, down the line cause it might cause some kind of friction between the local and the diasporans. You know, um, we have to keep in mind that you're going from a society where the cost of living is very high to a society that the cost of living is kind of like lower. So, with that being said, I don't think it's very um, productive. Let me say it like that. I don't think it's very productive to say every time that you share information about the cost of stuff there to uh, to say how cheap it is, because don't forget that the people living there cannot afford certain things. I watched videos where someone had a house that was like $700 a month and was bragging how cheap the house was and how beautiful the house was compared to the rent that he was being asked to pay. And I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness, $700 is a lot in that country for that town he was in. I mean, people working there don't even make half of that money a month. You know, people working don't make a lot a month. So be mindful when you're bragging and showing your house and claiming how cheap it is. Because I don't think that it's a fair judgment, given that you only compare it to America or UK or wherever you're coming from to qualify that as cheap. It's not cheap. That's like upper end, high end rent, kind of like in Africa. Cause $700 is, in my currency, is like a lot of money. People are not even getting paid. Let me see, people are paid like maybe $100 a month. So, it's not affordable for a local over there. And I'm just thinking, because people are doing this so much, so much about the rent and about what else. When they go to the market, they always say how cheap it is and all that. And it's gonna create an inflation with time, and that's not gonna be something that's gonna be easy for the local to swallow. And they're gonna start having some resentment towards the diaspora, and that's gonna create some kind of like friction between the groups. Because you guys, I would advise people to kind of like learn kind of like the cost, not only the cost of living, but also how much what they paid is, and how the affordability of the local before claiming that things are cheap or expensive, because they're gonna be left out, they're gonna be left out. They're gonna be feel as if they cannot, because of the diaspora, and things has gone up and they cannot even afford it. Even as of right now, they're struggling to afford those things, and then when the diaspora is coming in claiming that it's so cheap, guess what? People gonna get greedy. Even the landlord's gonna get greedy. They're gonna increase the price of the rent to the roof. They're gonna be you have to pay it in advance, like 6 months or a year or something like that. They're gonna now be like, okay, you have to pay 2 years. Because keep in mind that some of the people, for example, coming from America, have something set up in America that's producing money for them, and they're living off that money. So they still have that privilege to go from dollars to the local currency, which is, it stretches a lot. We all know that your dollar takes you far further in Africa than in America. So keep that in mind, guys. Please don't stop saying that the rent is cheap. It's not. It's not. I live in Africa. I lived there for years. It was hard for me, very, very hard to afford the rent. That is, think about where you went back in America and how hard, no, I'm not gonna say hard, I'm just gonna say it was kind of like, not that, it wasn't something that you consider cheap. If you want to live in a nice house or in a nice neighborhood, the house there will not be necessarily cheap from the American standard. So think about the same thing when you're there. Don't just look at the price of thing from your American lens. Do not do that, because when we local is gonna be against the diasporans. I think it's gonna create some kind of conflict. Be mindful, because the diasporan is coming to Africa. They have their money, they have their cars, they can afford the food, they can afford everything that's there. This is not this is not different from when the colonizer was there, because that was the exact position where he was in, and we always look up to them. That's why we always walk with our head down like this and bow to them. Now that people are waking up, like, because the African Americans especially going to Africa are saying things that making the Africans wake up a little more. I'm just worried that they might wake up so much that they will start claiming what's theirs, and really claiming it from everyone. And it's gonna create some kind of like friction. So guys, just tell me what you think, because this is me thinking these things, and I'm just worried that if I'm thinking these things and maybe somebody else is thinking the same thing. So if you're thinking the same thing, let me know in the comments, please, so that we can have a discussion on this. It's very important, guys, that we find a way that we're gonna live harmoniously without any kind of friction, any kind of resentment, any kind of feeling like other people are more privileged than other people. So I would love for you guys to share more about how you're mingling with the local and how you're helping the local. Yeah, things like that would be very great. We are seeing, all we're seeing is just you guys talking about price of stuff being cheap. It is not cheap. We have to be realistic.